Because you're a relative of Jose Rizal, do you think that you're going to find a partner, your standard would be, he should be Jose Rizal level? Yeah. Makasaysayang araw po. I'm Xiao Chua, the historian of the Filipino Story Studios and also the host of Ask Xiao. Ngayon, we want to do something different. They came out with this new show called Xiao Asks. What we're going to do is we're going to learn about our national hero, Jose Rizal, with a friend. Okay? So, let's do this. It's Xiao time! Mga kababayan, kasama ko po ngayon si Max Cruz.
Hi!
Max Cruz, first of all, I would like to ask you, ano bang pinagkakaabalahan mo? What do you do?
Okay, so I am a host and a content creator. So on my Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, I post my history reels.
History reels, ha?
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Oh, you are a content creator.
Yes.
Are you a student? Do you do business?
Oh no, I graduated from Ateneo like a few years ago. So I've been out of college and doing content, hosting, and once in a while making music as well.
Hosting and making music.
Yes.
But incidentally, you're also related to Jose Rizal, our national hero.
Yes, I am.
Can you explain that first? How did you become related to national? You know, you're Max Cruz, right? You're not Max Rizal.
Yeah.
But yeah, how are you related?
Okay, so his older sister, Maria, the sixth sister of the family.
Maria?
Yes, is my grandmother's great-grandmother.
Your grandmother's great-grandmother.
Yes.
So that's like six
Generations.
generations.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Wow. Because Maria actually married the Cruz.
Yes, she married...
And that's why you're really direct
Yes,
descendant
yes,
of the
actually.
sister of Jose Rizal.
Yes.
Maria Rizal. You know, the Rizal family, even if they're like just Rizal sisters, because Jose Rizal is the national hero, they also love their country. The whole Rizal family were also patriots, and they gave their best also for the country. And they suffered with Jose Rizal.
They did.
Yeah, diba? Now, how does that feel that you're actually related to someone famous? Like, does it make you feel like a princess or something like that?
No, but it gives me a sense of responsibility also. Because...
Nandun na agad yung bigat.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, he's the national hero, and with him comes a lot of history, of course, and a lot of facts that need to be right, need to be correct. And of course, like, because that was centuries ago, I feel like since then a lot has happened and things could get lost in translation or completely lost, and it's also a responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Okay, so as a Rizal family member, you already feel the burden of being a role model because Rizal is a role model, right? So the question is there something about Rizal that only descendants know? Is there like a secret knowledge that only descendants know about Rizal? And can you share it to us?
You know, most of the things that we know are already taught in school. So I would say the things that we talk about, like when we actually just sit in family reunions and talk about it, is him as a person. So
yeah,
that would include his love life. That would also include the things he did when he was a kid, like him as an artist, when he would do those banners for like the religious festivals in his town.
Not so many people know that, that he was actually a visual artist.
Yes, he
doing
was.
banners. And he did a banner in Dapitan for the church.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then of course, like him as a traveler. So that's something that we wish we also knew a little more about, because when he traveled, of course, we know that he studied.
Right.
But then what are the other things he did? Like Rizal as a tourist. That's something that we would also like to learn.
And you tell us something about this. A lot of people probably don't know about this. What is this?
Okay, so this...
What is that Pokemon?
So this is called Sybilla Cumana. And Sybilla Cumana is an oracle. Okay?
Oracle. So,
yes.
oracle means manghuhula.
Yes.
Yeah, so she sees through the future. So, made by Rizal, ginawa ni Rizal. So, let's open the box.
So this one, as you can see, is a drawing of the character by Rizal. So this one is the replica.
This is a replica of the mechanics of the game and the questions that you have to ask
Yes.
the oracle.
Yes, exactly. And it looks like an envelope because the original was made on an envelope. So he did this while he was in the Pitan. So there.
Oh, there we go. This was, of course, in Spanish. So there's
Yes.
a Tagalog translation or Filipino translation by Virgilio S. Almario. And an English translation by
Gemma Cruz
Tita
Arnatan.
Gemma, Ninang.
The winner of Miss International Beauty of 1965 at Long Beach, California is Gemma Teresa Guerra Cruz, Miss Philippines. Miss International Beauty announced that she would donate her $10,000 prize money to help orphans in her native land.
Now, going back to the questions, I don't like this question. Sabi niya, is there a question about Jose Rizal that you'd like to ask me? What?
I like this question.
Oh, really? I thought I thought it was so egotistical.
It's not.
Okay, of course, I'm a historian, but I'll try my best.
Okay, so actually, it's an opinion-based question, so you don't have to worry about it. So, for you, like in your opinion, why do you think that when he wrote Mi Ultimo Adios, he had a clear mind? Like, you've seen it, right? No erasures, no edits. It was just written straight, unlike here.
So this is the facsimile copy of the No Limit Tangier, which means it's an exact copy of the original handwriting of Jose Rizal. Yeah, let's look.
So here, we see that he's somebody who revises a lot of markings, a lot of erasures. There is even a page that is upside down.
Oh,
so
that would be in El Filibusterismo, because if you look at El Filibusterismo, it's like two Rizal fans comparing notes, right?
There we
Look
go.
at that.
See?
See?
A lot of erasures. So he's somebody who really likes to edit. But that last poem was written with such conviction that he didn't need to do any of this. And for you, as a person who admires Rizal, as a person who studied him, what do you think about that?
Because he already edited it in his mind.
Ah, okay.
So, this is my speculation, that if he's going to write his last poem for the people, the Spanish authorities should never see this. Like,
yes, of course.
they should never see him writing it, or else they might confiscate it or what. And that's why he hid it in the alcohol burner. So, Jose Rizal was composing it in his mind already.
Okay.
And when he wrote it, it was like the final version. So, one time, big time, he memorized it, and then he wrote it. And that is because he was very sure of what he wanted to say. His convictions, the imagery about dying and about sacrificing and about Inang Bayan, kissing his grave and stuff like that. And his message to the family. What I like about that poem is when he said that, I'm going to go somewhere where there are no butchers, no oppressors, where fate can never slay and God is a sovereign Lord. Because even today, you can be persecuted for your beliefs.
That's true.
You can be trolled and bullied for your convictions.
Yes.
But Rizal dreams of a place where we can be accepted for who we are.
That's right.
And that is what is touching about that. Diba? Wow. Siguro, I have a final question. Because you're a relative of Jose Rizal, do you think that you're going to find a partner, your standard would be, he should be Jose Rizal level, or, yeah. Is that like a requirement that he would be a man like Rizal was? And we know that Rizal was a gentleman. He was not perfect.
Yes.
He had his temper. He had,
he had
was
his
emotional, shortcomings. But he was, of all intents and purposes, and by all accounts, even despite the many relationships, probably he was a ghoster as well. Paasa. But he was a gentleman.
He was. At the end of the day, he was
Diba?
really a gentleman. I tell this a lot to people my age and to people who always tell me like, oh, so who is the next Rizal from a Descendant's point of view? For me, it's not about the imitation. We can be inspired by him, but we shouldn't be looking for him in the people who are alive today. We can always take inspiration from him. We can pick up what's good about him and look for it in other people, but we shouldn't be looking for another him. So, for my future husband, I guess the traits I'd like from Rizal are his intelligence, of course, his being a gentleman, in a sense his worldview because he was very well traveled, and of course, his kindness.
Kabutihang loob.
Yes, exactly.
Laging nandoon.
If he's good with words as well, that would be nice. But of course, I'm also looking at personality.
Personality, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so, do you have any message to fellow, because we were talking about generations earlier, no, before filming, and like even if I'm millennial, I'm probably more Gen X, and you're part of Gen Z.
I'm Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z, right? So let's talk to your generation. What do you want to tell them, our fellow young people?
Rizal was right in saying that we are the future, and that's the thing, the future is now. So let's use him as a North Star, let's be inspired by what he left behind, let's be the change that we want to see, because something about Jose Rizal is he was a person who would always open the door for the next person. And I don't mean that in a literal sense only, I also mean that metaphorically. He wasn't as egotistical as you might think. He's a person who believed that he needs to become great so that the next person can become greater. So let's apply that to ourselves. So us as Gen Z right now, we're almost at our leadership arc. So let's create a future that'll make life easier for the next generation so they can do the same thing as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Max Cruz. Yeah.
Xiao
So there you
Chua.
go. There you go. I hope you enjoyed learning with my friend about history and culture. And let me know if you have any other recommendations. Sino bang gusto niyo i-guest natin sa susunod? So, watch us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, the Filipino Story Studios. Okay? So, Max, again, thank you very much.
Thank you for
And I would like
having me.
Yeah, and I would like to thank you all. This was Xiao Asks.